Hello, it's Nick Falgot, jumping into a Scars Block 8-4 early in the morning, technically, since it's past midnight. But for me, the night has just begun. Stuck on 7 here, so that's fun. Okay, we're firing. Shimmer Mirror, not exactly the rare you hope to open. This is a pretty weak pack. Play a lot of green in this format, and I don't see myself breaking out of it here. I think the White Widow is just pretty far above every other card in this pack. The other cards I would consider first picking, I mean, Shimmer Mirror you could first pick out of a weak pack, but I think White Widow is just better. You could consider first picking a Quarter Paladin, but it's a bit early. There are some times when I wouldn't mind picking a Spin Engine first pick, but I think again White Widow is just better. You could take Geyser first pick, but that's again all the cards you could first pick you would not be happy to, and I'm always sort of happy to have access to a White Widow, so we'll see where it goes from here. Dark Steel Plate is an interesting one. If you put it on a Blight Widow, good luck ever getting rid of it. There's a second Blight Widow, and there's also a Fangren Marauder. I don't love the dedicated Infect deck post-Besieged, but I do love Fangren Marauder. I don't know what you take. I guess that was an uncommon, so probably like a Corrupted Conscience, or a Flame Fiend, or a Flesh Eater Imp, which is fine. Putting ourselves pretty solidly in green. I had a draft that started Marauder, Claw, Blight Widow recently, and I made the finals. Although the rest of the deck was kind of loose. But yeah, happy to go Widow Marauder to start this draft, and now there are no green cards at all. So we're gonna have to pick a direction here because the artifacts are not utilitarian. You don't want this in most non-infect decks, you don't want this in most non-blue decks, and you don't really want this. So, the strongest cards in this pack are white. I started off really high on this card, so I think it's sort of in the middle now. It suffers from the same kind of problems that all the artifact removal does post-Besiege, which is that it's just generally a dead draw against the better infect decks. So, committing to green-white is a bit dicey, but you can get rewarded for going white. I like Sky Hunter a lot better than I like Master's Call, so I'm going to go ahead and make that the pick here. I don't think I want Choking Fumes. Virulent Wound is fine, but I sort of prefer picking up bodies early, especially since I don't love Virulent Wound. There's a Rot Wolf, so we could end up in sort of a green-white infect shell if we start seeing priests and shrikes and everything. The other pick for our colors in quotes is this Gore Vassal, but with one Sky Hunter we can kind of afford to not draft white. We can certainly recover from a missed third pick out of a weak pack. This guy's just pretty darn good no matter where you're playing with him, and we have a couple infect creatures now, so it's not unreasonable for us to wind up on that plan. After that there's like a Dross Ripper. You could take this War Driver too, but I don't think we want to, certainly. Mirrored Metal, Pistis Strike are the green options. I don't think I want to take either of those cards in this spot. Not a white card in sight, and Serum Raker, which I'm basically always happy to have this late. It's also Quicksilver Geyser, which fits into our curve. Obviously we have a double white card and no other white card, so I may not even run it. Would I rather have a Geyser here or a Serum Raker? I think I am going to grab the Quicksilver Geyser. It's a little more splashable, in case we don't wind up blue. I don't think this card is really worth considering. It's more of a sideboard card. Serum Raker is a card I like a lot too, but Geyser is totally fine, and there's a Treasure Mage, so we're going to wind up sort of as usual in a blue-green kind of shell, which has not a ton of access to great removal. You could also take the Gust Skimmer here, but I think Treasure Mage has more upside. Certainly, if we pick up a couple 7-drop guys, Golems or Threshers, you know, there's a lot of value in just playing a card and getting one into your hand, just to give yourself options. So, Treasure Mage is the pick here. I guess I wouldn't fault you if you wanted the Skimmer. Tangle Hulk I don't think is close. So, seeing a lot of Mirren Metals. This guy's really good with, like, Heavy Arbalist, but we haven't seen one yet. There's a pretty late Phyrexian Rager. Just an all-around good card. I mean, we definitely want to be in green. We have a couple good blue cards. We can probably sort of ignore this white card. I don't love Mirren Spy. I don't love Gwiss's Courier, Mirren Metal, and Fuel for the Cause is whatever. I prefer Stoic Rebuttal. I'm going to go ahead and take Rager. He keeps our options open. He's sort of objectively speaking the best card in that pack. There's a Priest, which we were talking about earlier. I like the color sort, I guess. I don't think it's Commando or Vivisection. Blue cards that I am not in love with, especially Commando. Vivisection better in decks that this is not shaping up to be. I can take the Priest here, but it doesn't look like the white plan really evolved. I think it's a fairly late Malira's Keeper, so I'll just snag it. We now have a blue guy at every drop, so green guy at every drop from 3 upward. Here's where taking that first Geyser allows us to take an Oculus, who I haven't had a ton of, and maybe we'll get a late Vivisection, although I only remember seeing that one, and we cannot table that one. But I don't love playing more than one Geyser. Not a huge fan of Mirren Spy. Pretty big fan of Oculus. Go ahead and hide the white and green card. Darksteel Plate or Treasure Mage. I think with 2 pretty good effect guys and the possibility of picking up like a Assist Bearer or something, Darksteel Plate is actually an interesting consideration here. It makes Malira's Keepers pretty difficult to deal with too. So I took it. Digester, Shriekhorn, Serpent. We only have 1 artifact. Let's take the Digester, just to, again, have access. Sweet, another Hexplate Golem. So, Treasure Mage plan worked out anyway. We have no removal. The reason this is good with Infect guys is the same reason like Asceticism is. It's just, you can wear them down very over the long haul. Well, I guess we'll grab Magnetic Mine here. We don't have a lot of artifacts. You know, that's something we could side in against, you know. Wait, wasn't that a Frantic Salvage? I'm confused. Didn't I just take a, oh, okay, there was a cost account in the next pack? Oh, instead of a land, I see. Someone took a land over cost account, which doesn't seem right. Magnetic Mine can get sided in for shits in the same situation like a Viridian Revel would, but now we have a Precursor Golem, which seems pretty bad with a Magnetic Mine on the field. Be nice if this Tangleworm tabled. We have enough green creatures to where it's starting to get interesting, especially with the Infect guys. Corpse Cur is not defensible here, but a card we might play one of with 2 or 3 Infect guys in the deck. We may not play that Digester, but anyway, if you can play a 5-mana colorless bomb, you should. I call this guy Bomb. He's a bomb in the sense that your opponent had better have an answer or a plan. He's very close to a bomb. He makes the board complicated. Here, there's an option between Darksteel Axe, a couple off-color Mirror, and not much else. So I like Darksteel Axe in a deck with some Infect guys. Maybe we'll get a Treasure Mage, have the Double Mage, you know. We might pick up some flyers. We're in blue. You never know. Here's a Plague Stinger, but we didn't see any black Infect cards, so we're passing to that guy. most likely, since we didn't see any black. But, you know, you can't hate draft a Plague Stinger pick 2. If we were going to try and run any white, you know, we could think about this, but I don't think it's worth it. You know, this guy is not ideal right now. Haven't seen an interesting blue card yet in this pack, he said, and was presented with a choice between Skyo School and Razor Hippogriff. But I don't think we need to take that Hippogriff. So the guy to our left isn't white. Maybe the guy to our right is black-white, in fact, although he passed. I mean, you know, there's plenty of reasons we didn't see any white. I mean, I think, obviously, Hippogriff is great, but we don't have a lot of artifacts that want to be in the graveyard anyway. And a 3/3 flyer is available in a color that we've drafted cards in, so let's take that one. This Ember Smith is taunting me a little bit as well, but, you know, objectively powerful, subjectively not a lot of cheap artifacts. So 5 slot, pretty nice and full. Normally I'd really like a replica in this spot, but I think he's gotten worse post Besieged, especially with the main thing that he did in Triple Scars was really shut down the ground game for a couple turns, and there's just a bunch of different ways around it now between Battle Cry and the early flyers have gotten a lot better. So, I mean, we need some earlier drops too, and Coppermere is happy to join the squad. Let's look at him. He's so pleased. I still can't 100% tell where his head is versus his arms or whatever, but we can figure that out while we're playing with him. Hey, look, there's a Trinket Mage, but the white continues to come around and frustrate me because we don't have any removal yet, and that arrest is very tempting. We could have had an arrest. We still have that Sky Hunter, that Hippogriff. I don't know. Will we cut green? We're obviously getting cut from green. Although, no, there's a Molder Beast here. I think I like Trinket Mage. Trinket Mage finds the axe. We talked about that. You know, we could get all... Well, we have plenty of artifacts, I guess. But Trinket Mage is my man. Just keeps on coming. Wall of Tanglecord is fine, though. We're going to need some artifact destruction. Blue-green, notoriously difficult to handle creatures, so we just keep passing this white deck to the right. Stay in the course. Crafted exoskeleton, interesting. We have one big flyer. I think Disperse is fine here. We would probably eventually like a Scrap Diver Serpent, but Disperse has utility in a deck like this. And now a total blank for us. Maybe someone's going to grab that Icarats so that somebody doesn't get it 8th. Somebody doesn't table that Icarats. Not too worried about Blade Tribe Berserkers against this. We got big things. It's a big game. What was I hoping for out of this pack? I don't remember. I think I was hoping something would table. I'm not excited about anything I see, so I don't think it did. Carapace Forger or Nurok Invisimancer. Maybe this is a deck for Nurok Invisimancer, actually. With big guys and Darksteel Axe. Haven't played him in a while. Another Treasure or Golden Urn. Hello. I guess another Treasure actually has a slightly better chance of being useful. You are a thing. Yeah. Okay. Still no artifact removal, but we have Magnetic Mine, Viridian Rebel combo. This is actually good art. This is really nice art. Look at that. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna run you main deck. So some removal would be lovely. A Palladium Mirror would be a welcome addition. We're at 15 of